Chapter 7. We both knew it wasn't going to work. The next morning, something felt different. Not better, just off. Like something inside me shifted and didn't know how to settle back into place. I still felt tired, still felt heavy. But after being around Nathan after the kiss, falling asleep beside him, something inside felt like it was mending. I got dressed slowly for school. I didn't wear Nathan's hoodie, even though I wanted to. Bad. I already knew how people talked, how they watched everything, and I couldn't let them start looking at him the way they looked at me. So I folded the hoodie carefully and stuffed it into my backpack, like it mattered more than anything else in there. I walked slower than usual that morning, half hoping I'd run into Nathan near the playground, half terrified I actually would. But the swing sat empty. So did the rest of it. That shouldn't have bothered me as much as it did. The cafeteria door swung open and noise hit me immediately. Voices, laughter, somebody yelling across the room, the same normal chaos. A few people looked at me when I walked in, whispered something. I ignored it. Then I saw him. Nathan sat at his usual table with the football team, laughing about something. My chest tightened instantly. For one stupid second, I started walking toward him anyway. Then Nathan looked up. Our eyes met across the cafeteria. Everything inside me paused. I thought maybe he'd say something, wave me over, anything. But Nathan just looked at me for half a second, then looked back down at his tray. That hurt more than I expected. I stopped walking immediately, stood there feeling stupid, then turned and sat at a random empty table alone. My backpack rested beside my feet, Nathan's hoodie sitting inside it like a secret. I kept glancing toward his table anyway, even when I told myself not to. Nathan laughed with his teammates like normal, but every now and then I'd catch him looking over at me. Between classes, I saw him again. Standing near the lockers talking to Jade, he looked normal again, like the version of Nathan everybody else knew. Not the one from his couch last night. Not the one whose hand shook after kissing me. I slowed down without meaning to. Nathan looked up immediately, caught me staring. Then Jade leaned forward and kissed him right in front of me. My chest dropped instantly, hard. Nathan pulled away first. His eyes lifted and landed directly on me. Then I turned around and walked the other direction fast. My ears rang. My hands felt cold. I knew Nathan liked girls. That part wasn't new. So why did it feel like something just ended? I clenched my jaw hard. Of course this happened. Of course I let myself believe something stupid. That's what people say about guys like me, right? Give us one kind moment, and suddenly we fall in love. I hated that they might have been right. Last period dragged by slower than usual. The second the bell rang, I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. Nathan was standing right outside waiting. My stomach tightened immediately. The hallway buzzed with people moving around us. Nathan looked nervous. "Can we talk?" he muttered. I kept walking. Didn't know we could. "Roman." "What?" I asked. Nathan fell into step beside me, his hands shoved deep into his hoodie pocket like he was trying to hold himself together. "You've been acting weird all day," he said. That made me laugh under my breath. "Weird?" "Yeah," he said firmly. I looked over at him finally, pretty sure it was the opposite. "I didn't ignore you," Nathan said. "You looked right at me in the cafeteria, then acted like I wasn't there." Nathan glanced away immediately. "That's not what happened." "Cool," I answered. "Why you saying cool like that?" he asked. "'Cause I don't care anymore," I replied, stopping. That was a lie. We both knew it. Nathan sighed quietly. "Roman, we don't gotta make this weird." That irritated me instantly. "We?" Nathan frowned slightly. "You know what I mean." "No," I said. "Actually, I don't." People brushed past us in the hallway. A couple football players walked by and nodded at Nathan. Nathan nodded back automatically, then immediately looked at me again. That tiny shift pissed me off more than it should have. "You know what your problem is," I muttered. Nathan's jaw tightened slightly. "I'm sure you're about to tell me." "You only act different when people are around," I said forcibly. "That's not true," Nathan growled. "It literally is." I rolled my eyes. Nathan looked frustrated now. "You're acting like I did something horrible to you." I stared at him. "You kissed me, Nathan, and now I see you have no intentions on climbing the ladder." His eyes flickered around the hallway instantly. "Lower your voice." "What? You scared somebody's gonna hear?" I asked quietly. Nathan rubbed a hand over his face. "Roman, please just chill." "No, say it," I said. "Tell me we will never be anything but friends." Nathan looked at me for a long second, then quieter, intently. "Why is that so bad?" he whispered. That caught me off guard slightly. Nathan looked exhausted suddenly, like he'd barely slept. "I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do," he admitted quietly. CJ walked past us then and slowed down slightly. His eyes moved between me and Nathan. Then he smirked. "Damn," he laughed under his breath. "Y'all such a cute couple." Nathan stiffened instantly. "Man, shut your bitch ass up," he snapped immediately. CJ laughed and kept walking. The silence afterward felt awful. I looked at Nathan, and there it was again, that panic in his face. "You know what?" I muttered. "Forget it." I started walking away. Nathan grabbed my wrist immediately, not hard, just desperate. "Roman, wait." I looked down at his hand. Nathan let go fast, but his eyes stayed locked on mine. "I'm not ashamed of you," he said quietly. That made my chest tighten instantly. "Then what is it?" I asked. Nathan opened his mouth, then closed it again. People passed around us loudly. Lockers slammed nearby. But suddenly, it felt like it was just us standing there. "I don't know," he admitted finally. The words came out frustrated, angry, mostly at himself. He stopped, then laughed weakly under his breath. "You make me feel weird as hell." "Welcome to the club," I said sarcastically. Nathan looked away. Silence stretched between us. Then Nathan muttered, "You got me thinking about shit I never thought about before." My chest tightened painfully, because that was the closest thing to honesty he'd given me yet. But then he ruined it. We can't be in public like this," he added. And suddenly, anger crawled right back into my chest. I laughed, bitterly. "You caring so much about what people think is crazy." Nathan frowned immediately. That's not fair." "Why?" I asked. "Because it's true?" "I have a girl," he said, throwing his arms out. "I made a mistake with you, Roman. I'm not gay." I nodded slowly. "Roman?" "No," I interrupted quietly. "Thank you for saying that." Nathan's expression immediately shifted. "Roman?" I kept walking. "Roman?" His voice followed me down the hallway, and even though I wanted to hate him, I couldn't.